Roars of laughter and the sound of hearty voices in song rise from the tables in this warm, smoky tavern. You make your way through the crowd, listening as people talk of the great wizard Sargon and his haunted castle. Several of the tavern's patrons are apprentices of local magic users, and that is your occupation as well. You have joined the others tonight in the village of Sarsdale to trade stories and to talk of your favorite topic, Lion Castle. Sargon was the greatest magic user of all time, he was, says an old woman who has stopped at your table. No magic worked on him, no sir, none but his own. Why, I see warlocks, wizards, and sorcerers pass through here every day, and not one of them will go near the Lion Castle of his. They're afraid they'll lose all their powers. Not us, ma'am, says one of your friends. We've nothing to lose and everything to gain by exploring Sargon's castle. What is Lion's Castle? A newcomer asks. The tavern keeper, who has told this story many times before, eagerly steps forth to inform the newcomer. Sargon was a strong wizard indeed, son, and his castle is a sight to behold. He built it on the grassland plains in the land they now call the Ethingar Khanate. Lion Castle is a beauty, son. She rises above the landscape, built so she looks like a great cat about to pounce. The newcomer is entranced. You smile because you know how the story goes. The tavern keeper continues. Sargon's ghost resides there now, along with more than a few creatures, I suspect. The old wizard's ghost haunts the hallways, waiting for a worthy heir. Well, plenty have tried to enter that great stone cat after having heard of all its great magical rewards. Not many return, though. And would you believe, those who make it back have turned into wild creatures. Whole armies have been defeated trying to enter Lion Castle, but they never knew the secret. What secret? What secret? The newcomer pleads. Only one person at a time may pass through the magical defenses of Lion Castle, son. And magic users and elves are about the only ones who even stand a chance. The tavern keeper's tale has stirred you and the others once again, and you decide to draw lots to see who will be the first to enter Sargon's Lion Castle. The tavern keeper gladly watches over your table, waiting to see who will go forth to face Sargon's ghost. The lots are drawn. You are chosen. The tavern keeper claps his hand and skips back to a cabinet in the back of the room. You're a lucky one, my friend, he says as he pulls pieces of parchment from the cabinet. Take these maps and this magic journal. If you do not survive your quest, this journal magically reappears here in the tavern, so your friends and I know what sort of fate you befell. The tavern keeper hands you the journal and some incomplete maps of the castle. Others before you were able to map this much before retiring. Finish these maps and find that ghost, and you'll be a hero indeed. Now listen closely, says one of your friends. Follow the Streel River east for 6 days, and then hike north for 2. After 8 days, you should be able to see that great stone lion rising from the plain. Be careful as you approach it, another friend cautions. Wild beasts may attack you. The tavern keeper breaks in. You'll come to the outer curtain wall, and you'll see towers and gatehouses. Once you get beyond the curtain, you have to cross the outer ward. From there, friend, you can explore the castle's towers, gatehouses, and inner levels. Somewhere in that castle roams the ghost of Sargon, waiting for you to inherit all his possessions. In the morning, you pack for your journey. You study your spellbook and you prepare your weapon. You pack 3 weeks' worth of iron rations for the long quest. Your friends accompany you to the edge of Sardel, shake your hand, and wish you luck. I almost forgot to tell you, one of your friends says. Legend says that entering the castle at night is very unwise. Rest before you enter and approach in the light of dawn. You thank your friend and you turn to leave. You cross the river by ferry and turn east to walk along the river. The great grassland of the Ethingar Khanate stretches out ahead of you. 6 days pass. You have seen few animals since you left Sarsdale, and you have talked to no one. You turn north away from the riverbank and begin crossing the flat grasslands. As the sun begins to set on the 8th day, a slight gray mound appears on the north horizon. The head of a huge stone beast pokes above the waving grass. Lion Castle stands ahead, only 1 day away. Dawn comes quickly, and you set out toward the castle. The time seems to drag. Finally, in the late afternoon, you come upon a slight rise in the land. All of Lion Castle stands majestically before you. A 10-foot-high outer curtain wall stretches for 255 feet at the base of the castle. 20-foot-high towers rise from the wall, which is rimmed by a dry moat. Lion Castle itself rests on a 10-foot-high mound within the outer curtain wall. The lion's head rises 66 feet from the mound. Its great roaring mouth faces west. Subtract 9 days' worth of rations from your character sheet. I think I will go east. The east wall of the outer curtain stretches before you. The outer gatehouse stands in the center of the wall. A narrow path leads inward from the gatehouse, winding to the south as it runs along the body of the castle. Well, I better rest. Can't go in when it's dark. Okay, so Nathal decided to rest. As he was told before trying to enter, he had to rest, not go in the dark. However, I did roll a 1, which meant a wandering monster showed up. I rolled then on table 1, but I'm in the outer courtyard. I rolled a d12. I rolled an 8, plus 12 was a 20, which came out to be a sturge. The sturge flies really far. Movement's not going to be a thing. The sturge surprised me because I was resting and it was a wandering monster. The sturge has an armor class of 7, hit points of 5, and it does 1 to 3 damage. Nathal has hit points of 14. He has a sword plus 1. I just thought of that. And so if you look at the 2-hit table, as we descend, of course, I have a 14 armor. I have a 4 armor class, which means the sturge needs a 15 to hit, and the sturge has a 7, which means I need a 12 to hit. So, to hit, I need a 12. To hit, he needs a 15. I know it's a he. It just looks like a he, that sturge. If you're wondering what this 13 is, I already rolled a couple times and I actually got hit. So I'm just going to be honest. 14, he's been hit. Nathal has been hit. He woke up with big old sturge sucking on him. Now this doesn't have some of the special attacks the sturge does, such as sucking and having to pull it apart. We're going to keep it simple right now. Maybe I should add that later, but we're going to keep it pretty simple for now. So I've set this up like this. The sturge is on the left, Nathal's on the right. Sturge's damage is here, Nathal's damage is here. The sturge is already attacked. I'm going to attack with Nathal real quick, and then we're going to start the whole round over. Okay, I hit for 8 damage. I killed the sturge. A lot of setup for no reason. I just splatted that sucker. And it looks like I got 225 gold pieces in a gem. Boy, have times changed. That was a fat, rich sturge. Time to go. I think I'll try the outer gatehouse and walk on the path. You are standing before the outer gatehouse. A raised portcullis rests over the gatehouse opening. Beyond the portcullis, 2 sets of thick wooden doors stand open. A path winds inward from the gatehouse and leads to the patches of undergrowth towards the back of Lion's Castle. Nothing to hide myself. He said he wanted an heir. Let's just go in, see what happens. The portcullis falls as you pass under it. Whoa! Jump! You are inside the gatehouse. You cannot lift the portcullis behind you. You cannot levitate, turn gaseous, become invisible, or use a rope of climbing here. Murder holes pierce the ceiling between 2 sets of wooden doors that stand ahead. Let's go. The second set of doors slams shut behind you. You cannot open the doors. You cannot levitate, turn gaseous, become invisible, or use rope of climbing. A winding path leads the patch of undergrowth into the castle's outer ward. A narrow path winds from the gatehouse and leads through the outer ward underbrush to an opening in the lion's chest.